Okay, hi. I just had a really good cry, and I want to share some of my post-cry clarity thoughts with you, even though my nose is a little snotty and my voice is a little post-cry-ish. So this is a public service announcement. I know how much we love those, right? Take notes. Get your pen and paper. Get your phone. Get your thinking cap on, and your feeling heart on. And I said heart on, not heart on. Relax. So I just saw an ad for depression pills, and I thought, oh God, I went on that roller coaster in my 30s, and I had worse side effects from the pills than anything they ever did to help. And the explanation I was given by the very prestigious psychiatrist at a very prestigious mental institution, because only the best for this brain, right? Was poop out. I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, after a while, you're med resistant, so things work for you for a little while, and then they poop out. I thought, that's the best you got. Then I asked him why he was giving me shocks to the brain. And I don't know why the people who loved me allowed this to happen, but they did. I think they just saw, authority and MD after a name and abdicated personal responsibility or sovereignty or care. And, they would say desperation and didn't know what to do. When I would say they just let people put lightning through my gray matter. And so that's not great, right? That's like secondary abuse. First abuse is the medical, institution, whatever we call it, big pharma, the people who want to throw pills at our heads when we get sad about the fact that we find out that our leaders, our so-called leaders, because none of them are leaders to me, they're all followers of Satan, but that's another conversation for another time, are fucking and eating children. Okay, so allegedly, whatever. I know the FBI is saying it's not a thing and it's a hoax, and they go back and forth on that, and the files are on the desk one day and then it doesn't exist the next, and we're caught on hot mic with a potential nanny one day saying it was, tons of little kids, and then we're told to move on. So I just want to know who's making a pill for that. Is it Eli Lilly? Is it Pfizer? Is it the people who gave the jabs that killed people? Because that seems like a problem, maybe. Also, if anybody hasn't really figured out that the DSM-4 stands for basically the devil's satanic manual, and they're trying to diagnose and medicate you to keep you docile and quiet, I would say, especially when they say things, you'll have to take this for the rest of your life. Red flag, problem. That's not medicine or help or even prevention or maintenance. It's symptom management. Another way to manage your symptoms: sunshine, fresh air, good people, decent food, and screaming. Screaming in your car works. I don't have one anymore. So, into a pillow works as well, so you don't disturb your neighbors. But yeah, where's there a pill for this? For this Epstein shit, for the Diddy shit, for the denials and deflections and lies and carrot and stick fake promises that never come to fruition? What kind of formulation is going on in a lab right now with somebody in a white coat and goggles to come up with a pill for that kind of existential crisis that's global? Because I don't think there's a pill for that, you guys. I really, really fucking don't. So that's my thought. If you're on antidepressants, or you believe you have this ADHD thing that they mass diagnose with everyone, that they curated this attention deficit problem by these, shorts and reels and everything else we all do, I'm guilty too. Raise my hand. I'm guilty. Guilty, Your Honor. Guilty of believing that any of them had any decency. Guilty of believing that any of them had any backbone. Guilty of believing that any of our so-called leaders, or these A-lister parasites, had any shred of conscience or care. No, they cremated care at Bohemian Grove and at the altars where they actually sacrifice innocence. Okay. So I don't think there's a pill for this. I think we might have to white knuckle some of it and, breathe as much as you can. If you want to write to your senators and all that, that's great. They don't care. They eat babies. Okay? If you want to vote them out, they don't care. They eat babies. They rig all that shit, you guys. They install. The cabal installs. It is a selection, not an election. So these are my morning. I'm tired and I don't understand anything anymore. And even my rage is tired, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean, because, but take your meds, right? Take your meds is the phrase they always say to people when they don't like what you're saying. Hey, take your meds. Are you okay? Take your meds. What's wrong with you? Get some help. This is the shit they say, right? So, I've been in and out of therapy myself since I was 15. I'm coming up on 55. That's almost 40 years of other people telling me, stuff about my brain when they never had a scan. And they never met me for more than, an hour at a time here and there. They're not living my everyday life. They can't tell me to take pills that they don't know the long-term effects of. The same guy said when he was putting lightning through my brain, I said, what does this do? He said, well, we don't really know, but we think it juggles the brain chemicals around. Okay, so that's your answers. These are your answers? That's the best you got? When you put billions of dollars into so-called research? So yeah, there's no pill for this, red pill, blue pill, purple pill, black pill, mother's little helpers, It's just like the pills aren't going to do it, you guys. All they do is take some of the edge off, right? But we're in the craziest times, and this isn't negativity. To call out truth is not negativity. To rant and rave and vent is human, and then to find solutions. But if you try to rush people towards solutions before you actually honor or acknowledge the fact that we all just finally got the memo, and I got it years ago, but now other people are catching up, that there is an elite pedophile ring. They are Luciferians. They do throw the hand signs all the time for Luke's little gang, right? And so they want to scramble you. They want to divide us. They want us fighting each other. They do want us at each other's throats. And they've been fairly successful at that. When we look at certain protests, which I totally believe in a peaceful protest. That's how it all went down in the 60s, We need to protest unjust and unfair things. And we also need the counter-protest and the resistance and the persistence, or whatever anyone wants to call it, of no, unplugging from that, not feeding it, not going there, not doing it. So we need a balance of those things. We need a balance of, you can't just bypass it, put your head in the sand, and fart out rainbows and sunshine without looking at the fact that why are so many people on pills? Just to cope with daily life. That might say there's something broken with the system, not our brains. Leaving it there.